So you were down to 4 willpower.
Okay.
But then you gain a willpower whenever you sleep or whenever you do something that fulfills your nature. Something that is particularly adhering to what your nature is, which for you is idealist.
Cool. I did just try to unionize the mob that was burning down the church. So
yeah, there was an argument there. It was interesting. Okay, so status updates. Everyone is down 1 blood. Excavo and Darby are down 2 blood. Archibald's down 1 willpower. Augustyn has 1 lethal damage from getting shot by Excavo. And
love it.
Which
some real combat savvy and driving savvy on display from my fellow teammates. Last episode.
Okay. To be fair, that was my
To be fair.
That was my only bad roll of the day. I was rolling spicy that day.
There were some insanely high rolls.
And I'm missing a Tonto, because...
You can get it back, though.
Did someone jump on it?
Oh, God damn it. Welcome back to New Cammack. Last time, Archibald was disappointed to discover that it was not the horseman Famine who responded to his invitation to a chess match at Club Wonderland, but instead a tactical-looking gentleman named Kurt, who said he was sent by his employer to interview Archibald, saying that this employer will contact Archibald later if they wish to meet with him. During this interview, over a tragically undisturbed chess set, Excavo noticed that Kurt was accompanied by 2 other men who were keeping watch over the scene, and when they noticed that the hunter Donna Teller was in the club, originally to back up Archibald and the others, were a fight to happen, they appeared to report this fact into a walkie-talkie. After Archibald's encounter with Kurt, Donna approached him saying that Father Paladian and the other hunters weren't responding to her texts or calls, and she was worried. Archibald, Excavo, Augustyn, and Donna quickly drove to Paladian's church, where they discovered it on fire, with an unmarked van speeding away and 4 bikers standing outside throwing Molotov cocktails. Archibald ordered Donna to run into the church and ordered Augustyn and Excavo to go after the van, which I forgot to mention cost Archibald 1 temporary willpower point, as he had to struggle against his dependent personality disorder to take charge of others. Augustyn and Excavo managed to catch up to the van and note the license plates and the 2 ski-masked people in the front seats, but this van escaped as a botched attempt to flatten one of its tires left Augustyn with a missing knife and a bullet wound. While all of this was happening, Darby, still furious about perceived disrespect from his teammates while he was attempting to be a heroic helicopter pilot vigilante, was blowing off steam by racing around the secret subway system called the MKT. And Darby, you're just trying to speed around as fast as possible.
That's
being
right.
As reckless as you can under there.
That's correct. I'm trying to avoid a blue turtle shell.
With the assumption that Darby is not going to be involved in tonight's session, Steve will be portraying 2 of the outlaw biker NPCs that are outside the church that Archibald just picked a fight with. So we go now to St. Michael the Archangel Church, where Archibald's attempts to appeal to the bikers' working class background have failed, and all 4 of them are poised to attack him for refusing to call off Augustyn and Excavo's pursuit of the van. Let me set the scene once again for you, Archibald. So Augustyn and Excavo just fled in the Escalade in search of this van that was on the scene and sped away as soon as you showed up. Donna Teller, the hunter, ran into the church. The 4 bikers outside the church were throwing Molotov cocktails and were saying taunting things, saying like, "Come out, Father, we're not going to hurt you," implying that Father Paladian is inside. Donna is presumably trying to rescue him. You can hear some sort of commotion. It looks like there's water splashing around in there. Like maybe some sort of sprinkler system is being set off. Other than that, you have no idea what's going on in the church. You look around and you see... let me load this up here. You see 4 bikers, and on the ground you see the weapons of the hunters. You remember everyone except Donna had a Christian themed martial arts weapon. And on the ground you see a rosary rope dart, and you see a 3-section staff that is engraved the Father, the Son, and the Holy Ghost on the sections. And you see one of the Christian cross-shaped tonfas. Another one of them is held by one of these bikers. The bikers that I will describe, there are 4 in front of you. They all look pretty different. One of them is bald, completely hairless, no eyebrows or anything like that, many facial piercings, and he doesn't have a shirt under a leather vest that's full of patches. Also, you see strange things that look like white porcupine quills protruding through the skin on his chest and on his arms. It looks very strange. You see another more stereotypical looking biker dude. This is a guy with a big beard. I should have based these guys off of the Gangs and the Warriors. He's got a big beard. He's got large...
Is it too late?
I'll introduce him later.
This one is wearing a baseball uniform and clown makeup.
I mean, the mimes and the orcs would have fit in the Warriors. Second guy, bearded, large wraparound sunglasses and a bandana, large hairy belly poking out from under a torn t-shirt. Also has a whole bunch of patches on his vest. You see next to him, there's a guy who looks like he could be in his 50s. He has gray hair and a ponytail. He's wearing a 60s looking leather vest with long fringe and cowboy boots. And he's holding a katana. And the 4th guy, I'm not sure. I think we said before you would recognize this guy as being the guy who identified himself as Brain Bucket in the biker bar called the Rusty Tailpipe. He is wearing a motorcycle helmet, clean shaven, but he's got a patchy and weathered skin that makes it difficult to tell if he's 30 or 60. And he is holding the other cross tonfa. So they have demanded of you that you get a hold of Augustyn and Excavo and call them back, and you have refused, and they've made it clear that they're going to beat your ass for it. Is there anything that you do before combat starts?
Now, comrades, I understand wanting to burn down a church just as much as anyone. I, too, am a fan of Norwegian black metal. But what do you boys say we settle this conflict with some peer resolution exercises over the chessboard?
Over the chessboard?
So roll for initiative.
I got your peer and your
but did
resolution
it work,
right here.
I'm hankering for a match.
So there's 1d10 plus dex plus wits is your initiative rating.
Are you going to roll for me?
Oh, yes. Darby, you are going to be... I'm the bearded one and the katana one from that. That's the background that you sent me. Correct. If you're in roll 20, loaded up, and I have the church described there on the battle map.
Very nice.
Celerity doesn't work into this at all, does it? No.
Oh yeah, the image you sent earlier.
Yeah.
Let's say celerity does factor into
add,
it. So add those two. I forget off the top of my head, but sure. Let's go with that.
Oh, initiative, dex, wit, and celerity.
Yeah, I think Yidu gets your celerity. It would make sense that you do.
Well, he needs it.
Ooh. Is it a 1? Ooh.
You inherited the Darby Memorial shitty initiative roll.
Oh no.
Well, that's the roll that matters the least.
Hopefully.
In group combat, that was pretty important.
Oh yeah, true. There's 4 against 1, huh?
What about Darby's 2 guys who were named Tad and Chad?
I thought you were just going to say they're both named Tad.
That's what happens when they combine. They'll become
they
one
combine
really
into,
big guy.
They combine into Dad.
Into a dad.
Okay, so the first guy gets +2, so he's got a 7, and the second guy gets +3, so he's got a 12.
That's Tad and Chad, respectively.
Yes, Tad and Chad.
I still beat both of them. Let's go.
Yeah, the initiative order highest is Chad, the old guy, and then you don't know their names, but the next one is named Thud McGinty, the bald one, and then you, and then Brain Bucket, and then Tad, the bearded one. So Tad, that's Darby. Declare your first action.
So Tad and Chad have thumped on dudes many, many times before, and so they kind of make eye contact, and Tad's gonna go low while Chad goes high. Tad's gonna come in with a pointy punch. I believe this is the guy that's got spikes on his knuckles. So he's just coming at you right to the groin, Johnny Cage style. Just pointy punch, called shot to the groin.
It is in this moment that Archibald notices that this character Tad weirdly has what looks like spiky bones coming out of all of his knuckles on his right hand.
Like nails?
No, like out of the
bone
knuckles.
shards.
He has untrimmed fingernails. That's his weapon.
I know. I'm like, that could be interpreted as such. He's got some of these.
It's like before Wolverine gets the adamantium coating.
Mm-hmm.
That's what we're dealing with here.
It's just bone.
Yeah, bone spurs that are sharp.
I hate it.
Yeah, thanks. I hate it. Yeah, that's what I'm going for. Gross.
Okay, there's
bone
one more
punch.
going before that, right? Before me.
These are the ones lowest initiatives they're declaring first. So Chad is just going for a punch. Brain Bucket, who has the tonfa, is leaping upon you and trying to use the tonfa to get you into a headlock. Archibald, what do you declare?
I do declare.
And keep in mind some things like you can split your dice pool between offensive and defensive actions. If you spend a round just defending, then you could use those defensive dice against everything that happens to you in the round instead of just against a single attack. Some things like that.
Okay. I would like to jump. I'm going to do a leaps and bounds situation.
Jump to anything?
Straight up?
I think I'm going to jump backwards fairly far so that I am not like surrounded by these dudes and can get a better chance of getting in a semblance of one-on-one.
Okay.
And then anything not jumping would just be defending. I want to be a little more tactical here. Get a lay of the land.
Okay. So we'll say, yeah, you're spending your whole round just with a jump, trying to get away from everyone else. That is going to take place. Yeah. I think the first couple attacks will be attempted against you, but then they will have to overcome your jump dice, basically. So the next person, the bald one with the spikes on him, like the quivers, also tries to tackle you, basically. And then Chad, the older of the two brothers, what was their last name? Tad and Chad
Broner.
No.
Broner.
Broner. No.
Tad Broner and Chad Broner.
Oh my god.
And there's some background in it?
The company that makes my hat, I just noticed it when I was with my friends in LA this weekend, is called Broner. And I just looked at it and laughed out loud for like a solid 5 minutes. And I knew I was going to get to do this. And I asked Graham if he could put Broner in the game. So here we are. I popped two Broners.
Two Broners.
Broner brothers.
Excellent.
Broner bros.
We love it.
So the older guy is drawing and swinging his katana. He's going high because he like coordinated this attack with his brother. So I think he's trying to stab. He's going with a stabbing motion, like right through the heart if he can do it. Called shot.
Real quick, Archibald, please give me a perception plus investigation roll, difficulty 8.
Okay.
I see 2 successes minus 1.
One success. And with one success, you get a glimmer of recognition when you see this sword coming at you. You think you've seen the sword before, but you can't place any more details about it.
Okay.
Let's see. Chad is trying to swing a katana at Archibald while Archibald's trying to jump out of the way. That jump is going to be dexterity plus athletics. Or is it strength plus athletics? Let me double check real quick.
It would be the same either way.
It is strength.
Moot point.
But yeah.
Well,
but you can use your potent stats if it's strength.
Okay. So
So
do I use my leaps and bounds too?
That won't play into like how many dice you're rolling for this, but
Okay.
1, 2, 3, 4, 6, 7, 8 dice, standard difficulty, for your defense, and then Steve, roll melee plus dexterity for the katana attack.
looks like 4 successes there.
4 successes. That's not bad.
Is it too late for me to burn one of my vitae to raise my stats?
No, you can do that.
I would like to do that. And I would like to raise my dex by 1 for the rest of the scene.
Got it.
So I am instead going to roll 4 dice here, which I need all of them. It just doesn't even matter. He's just going to soak them no matter what. I can't roll enough dice to beat his successes.
Is Vitae a fancy way of saying you do some meth and Hulk out?
Yeah, I'm loaded up with a little bit of vampire blood, and I am going to use it to my advantage here. But I just don't think this roll matters at all.
Wait, this guy has vampire blood?
Mm-hmm.
What is going on? They're ghouls, right?
Okay, so, well, you don't know specifics yet.
I know the one has a sword.
And this sword just missed.
Wonderful.
Moving
Yeah,
on
I'm just
to-
not even. I'm not even going to roll. I guess we can see if I botch. That might be relevant.
Sure, yeah.
Yeah.
Nope. So let's see. How many dice, Archibald, did you roll for that jump? It was
8.
8. Okay. So the way it works when you're spending your whole round defending and evading and fleeing is for every attack against you, you roll 1 fewer die than the previous attack that you were defending against. So roll 7 dice to avoid being tackled by Thud McGinty, the bald biker.
That's not great.
1 success. That's fine.
So you have 1 die in defense, and we'll see how many dice he gets in his attack, which is going to be dexterity plus athletics. 4 successes, down to 3 because of your defense. So with 3 successes, this guy grabs you and tackles you down to the ground. As you land, the spikes that are in his arms and his chest actually pierce you. And what is the result of that? It is... And yep, there is 2 lethal that you've received, but you can soak. Roll your stamina dice to see how many of those 2 lethal you soak.
So just stamina, nothing added?
Correct.
You don't have any fortitude.
Unfortunate.
Soak 1. Take 1.
All right.
Okay.
So you've been tackled and you were on the ground, and Brain Bucket attempts to also jump on top of you and get you in. Actually, I'm going to say because it was uncoordinated and one guy was trying to grab you and another guy was trying to tackle you to the ground. Brain Buckets, you just aren't there when Brain Bucket reaches up and tries to grab you by the throat, and Brain Bucket totally misses you. So then there is Tad, who is trying to punch you.
Yeah, and so he's like prone now, so it feels like it would be easier to punch him.
Oh, no.
For the moment, yeah, let's see how that affects combat. Plus 2 dice to your attack roll.
Spectacular. I need all the help I can get here. 3 successes.
All right, so 3 successes. Damage is going to be strength plus 1 plus 2, so strength plus 3 lethal. So go ahead and roll that for Tad.
7 dice. Oh dear. Oh,
That is
Great.
Oh.
That is 6 successes. This is very solidly connected.
Thanks for
punch.
killing me.
He's punched you right in the balls.
So, Archibald, roll your stamina dice, please. That's 3 dice.
Oh my god.
So if you guys could come back and help me, that would be much appreciated.
I think that's where we're coming to. I think that's where we're gonna be next.
So that is
Hopefully.
that's 1 success. Let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4. So you soaked 1, and you get 5 lethal. Keep in mind that at any time, subject to your per turn blood expenditure limit, you can spend blood to heal bashing or lethal damage, which would be
Probably do that.
a good idea.
You didn't spend any on celerity, so
So
probably do that.
what am I marking here? It's been so long since I've taken damage.
Your health.
Yeah. So I just fill in 5 of the boxes, or
Yes.
Well, if you intend, so it's still the first turn. If you intend to burn your blood to heal, I would fill
do.
in 2 boxes. Because your net aggregate lethal damage for this turn, if you spent all your blood, so it would be marking down 3 blood being spent and 2 lethal damage being incurred.
1 per turn.
1. You can only spend 1. What generation is he?
10th.
Oh dear, 10th gen. Well, so yeah, shit. Mark down 4.
Okay. So I'm mauled.
Correct.
Okay.
You, however, can immediately, as we roll into the next turn, spend another blood to heal 1 more.
Okay. How much blood do I need to mark out now?
Just 1.
You only spent 1. You can only
Okay.
spend 1 per turn.
Okay.
Just to give you a horrifying reference point, Darby with 4 stamina dots and 3 fortitude dots can spend 4 blood per turn. Just throwing that out there.
Now I know.
So it's going to be difficult to take Darby down when he goes crazy, becomes a
That's
villain.
right. Don't say I didn't consider it.
All right, so that is first round down. Let's go to Augustyn and Excavo, who are trying to catch up with this van that they ran off the road, and then they got out of their vehicle, and the van just kind of got back on the road and kept driving. I'm going to roll 2d10 to determine how much of a lead this van got.
Oh yeah, so we're definitely just getting right back in.
All right. So that was 9 successes. So they are about 90 feet ahead of you.
All right.
So not terribly far.
Yeah.
Okay.
Get in. What do you think,
So
Augustyn? Do we go get him?
I mean, we have no idea that you
That
guys
I'm
have seen
dead.
Kung Pao, right? You've seen Kung Pao Under the Fist?
Oh no.
of course.
I'm just
That's why I
imagining
say
the
oh
scene
no.
where he's like, I must reach Master Payne's level. When you all pile on top of me, I will throw you aside like you are nothing. And they just beat him into submission and are like, he didn't say to stop. Just
'Cause he
keep
was
beating the
unconscious.
shit out of his lifeless body. I feel like that's Archibald right now.
I mean, we'll see. So this is how
Well,
the van chase is going to go. You will lose this van if it gets 30 or more successes more than you have. So it is already 9 successes in. If it has net 30 more successes than you, then it'll be lost in the city.
Do we know how far this van went from where we were? Like, how far away are we from? Like,
From the
people and
church?
stuff? Yeah.
You caught up with it pretty quickly, like less than a quarter mile from the church. It was leaving right as you were arriving, and Archibald was pretty quick to be like, follow that van. So, yeah.
Okay, so we're not that far away. I assume that's where they're going.
that is my understanding as well. Well, no.
No?
My understanding is we are pursuing them regardless, just to, like, do the thing we were told to do.
Yeah.
I have no perceptions about where they're going or why they're going there.
You're just following
Only that-
orders.
Yep, just following orders.
God.
Secondary, get your weapon back.
All right. So which one of you was
That
driving?
too.
Me.
Okay. So, give us
Augustyn, you seem to furrow your brow at that.
well, the two of you had an
I
opportunity
have
since
2 points of drive now.
you did like a Chinese fire drill thing. You both got out and then got back in. You could have switched who was in the driver's seat.
No, I would still want to drive.
Okay. Well,
What'd you say to roll?
It is. Let's make it a wits plus drive roll. Difficulty 7.
Oh, yeah. 4, 2, 6. Okay. Oh, 2. Okay.
Okay. So you've caught up to him a little bit. They're only like 70 feet ahead of you. Okay, back at the church. We'll give Steve a moment to get back here, but let's see here. Tad would declare first. I would imagine he's just continuing to punch. We'll let Steve contradict that if that's not what he wanted that NPC to do. Brain Bucket is taking his tonfa and just swinging it down on top of Archibald's head, attempting to. Back at the church, Steve, does Tad just continue trying to punch maul Archibald?
Oh yeah, I mean after that initial success, he's feeling himself. He's going in for as many punches to the nuts as he can swing.
Oh my god, specifically to the nuts.
I actually wanted a called shot, and I think I rolled well enough to have gotten him in the balls.
Oh wow, of course.
He's now feeling himself, and he's feeling Archibald.
Okay, so punch to the nuts with spiked knuckles. Brain Bucket is just bringing down a tonfa on Archibald. Archibald, what action do you declare?
I would like to ask them for my one phone call, please. Wait, can I use my blood?
You can. It's a new round. You can do whatever with it.
I would like to use my blood to do a heal thing.
You can use your among the options. You could boost your stats. You can heal. Also, you can use your blood to activate your celerity. And give you
burning blood to get rid of wound penalties essentially boosts all your rolls, so it's like pretty good bang for your buck.
So yeah, I would like to do that.
But burning for celerity would give you multiple attempts to escape, but each of them would get a...
And I would like to do that. Can I do both?
No, you only can spend 1 blood per turn.
Yeah.
Well, if I take all these hits, then I'm dead. So I'm going to do the celerity thing and try to get away, I guess.
Okay.
Of course, your attempts are going to be minus whatever because of your wound level. I don't know.
Great.
You're caught between a rock and a hard place.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's not great.
Wound penalty of 2. Of course, if Archibald goes into frenzy, then he would ignore all wound penalties. Hard to say if this is a situation that would make Archibald like rage out and lose control. You've always portrayed this character as being pretty even-tempered.
Yeah. So yeah, I would like to burn for celerity and try to escape, I guess.
I think a frenzy roll would be appropriate here because you are being taunted and you're being ganged up on. Go ahead and give me...
And punch directly in the balls.
Oh, yeah.
Right, that there, I think you can
punch
just
like
omit the rest.
hard.
It's just...
Like 6 successes to the balls. That's a frenzy roll.
Frenzied.
Well, give me a self-control roll that's 3 dice for you at a difficulty of 6.
No willpower? Just
self-control?
If you... Or wait, what?
Or would you be trying to avoid frenzy?
No.
Okay.
I think I would welcome it at this point.
Oh, it welcomes you. It welcomes you. You have failed.
It do welcome.
So,
okay.
I think for the first time in this campaign, Archibald, you absolutely lose your cool. Your fangs come out.
I did frenzy
did you?
once against Archibald, or against Augustyn, right?
Mm-hmm.
Did that happen?
When Onion Jack died.
Oh, I forgot.
Darby is the only reason you didn't kill him? Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Oh. Did I try and talk you out of it? I think
Nope.
Or was that a different time?
Okay, I am frenzied.
Since you were in frenzy, you are now going on an emotional rampage, doing exactly what you want to do with no worries about later repercussions, even if allies come into the scene. You're going to ignore your wound penalties.
Okay, well, in that case, no escape now. It's hammer time.
Hell yeah. So you're burning for celerity. You have a total of 3.
Well, now hang on a minute. I think the timing of the frenzy is important because he made the decision to burn for celerity when he thought he was going to run away. And if the frenzy overtook him the moment he got punched in the balls, that is not a decision that makes sense. And he may now want to burn to fix the wound penalties. Well, he ignores the wound penalties. So I get it. Never mind. I was just trying to think of like the logic of the burning for celerity to run away doesn't really make sense, but burning for celerity to take 2 swings with your hammer makes a lot of sense.
Okay, yeah, I'll do that.
So you have actually 3 actions that you would take. 1 in your initiative order, and then 2 more at the end of when everyone else is gone. Are you just spending your first you're trying to get out from under the tackle, and then you're swinging your hammer around?
If I'm frenzied, I think that's what makes the most sense.
Okay. Next up, the bald guy who's tackled you is trying to increase.
If I might propose,
oh sure,
you are within bite range, and biting is very, very good, and something a frenzying vampire would definitely be inclined to do.
I think that would be my preferred way of trying to get him off. Yeah.
Like, you're stuck in this grapple with me.
Yeah, I think it would be kind of like that.
Okay, so you were
That makes
biting
sense.
the guy who tackled you?
Yeah.
Chud. I think Chud is the tackler.
Thud.
Thud, my bad.
Thud.
Chud.
There's Thud and Chud and Chad and Tad.
Tad.
Wumpus, Mumphrey, Humples, and Dump Truck.
The hippos in Club Wonderland. Okay, with this guy, I'm thinking this guy's continuing to just try to keep his grip on you, and he's squeezing you and kind of stabbing you with those spines in his arms and in his chest. So you're going to spend all 3 of your actions just trying to bite this guy's arms off.
Well, my idea is that I would bite him to either incapacitate him, and then hopefully if I get out, then it's hammer time. If I can get to a hammerable range of motion, I would like to hammer.
Like, the bite is the means to escape the grapple, is what you're saying. You're like trying to bite your way out of this guy. I mean, that makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
I think those need to be 2 distinct actions. Either you're focusing on doing damage or you're focusing on getting out. Of course, you can keep doing damage to try to convince the guy to voluntarily let up, or you could try to kill him with your bites.
The only way through is to chew.
That's true. That is what they say. So I have to declare all 3 actions now, because I feel like the result of one would determine what I can do later.
I think, yeah. Knowing, well, you can tell me conditionally what you plan on doing.
Like, if you escape, you do X. If you don't, you keep biting.
Yeah.
Okay, so if you are still tackled, you bite. If you are free, what do you do?
Hammer.
To the guy that tackled you, or to one of the other ones?
Somebody else, yeah.
Just whoever's closest.
The next available victim.
Okay. And the next is the older person, gray hair and a ponytail, Chad Broner, with the sword. What is Chad doing?
So I'm getting the feeling that Chad is like kind of boxed out from the action. Like Brain Bucket's sort of in his way. He missed badly. Chad's plan is to go around the guy that is on top of him and stab down into Archibald. But if he hits his friend, he hits his friend. So he is swinging the sword down at the pile of those two dudes, trying to hit Archibald.
Okay.
Are two dudes really a pile? I feel like it's more of a stack.
Depends on how big they are, I guess.
And he has higher standards for a
stack,
dude pile.
Dude stack.
So starting with Chad, with the highest initiative, that stab is going to be dexterity plus melee. And because Archibald is immobilized, it'll be add 2 dice. So dexterity plus melee plus 2.
Okay. This is the guy that raised his dex. So I have 4 basic dice plus 2. So 6 total. I'm seeing 4 successes.
4 successes, so roll strength plus 5 for damage. And Archibald, roll your stamina to see how much of this you're going to soak.
So I have 2 strength, and then the katana gets plus 2.
Yeah. Plus
Or is
3
that
for
just
your extra successes.
Is that just for damage?
Yes.
Yeah,
But it's not damage dice. It just adds to the damage itself. So I have 2 damage successes.
No, that's your damage dice pool. You could still somehow do no damage.
So I got to roll 2 more. This did not add in the bonus for the katana itself. Okay. So that is 3 total successes.
Okay, and 2 were soaked. So Archibald takes 1 lethal, putting him into the crippled state, 1 away from incap. I think even when he's in the incapacitated state, if he's in frenzy, he ignores that. I think that counts as wound penalties, the incapacitated state.
I sure hope so.
Just not torpor. Torp takes him out.
Yeah, you can't
It's
frenzy
just
yourself
down.
out of torpor.
Okay.
All right, so the next guy, Thud, who has tackled you and is squeezing you, is going to continue squeezing you. I think this is just going to be a strength roll for him. Strength plus potence for him is 4 dice. And that is 3 successes. Archibald, roll stamina to see how many of those you soak.
I'll be right back, guys.
You're going to miss my death. My big scene.
Ooh.
Well, this is just bashing, right?
You're dead. No, you're not dying.
You soak 2 of those, so you only get 1 lethal. No, the spikes are being stabbed into him.
Oh, shit. Yeah, damn.
Yeah, isn't that it?
No, so if you were not in frenzy, you would be incapacitated and you would be unable to really do anything except like weakly crawl around. Since you are in frenzy, and characters in frenzy ignore wound penalties, I think that also, that's not just your dice pool penalty. I think that also applies to being incapacitated. You are too angry to be incapacitated, but if you take any more damage, then you would go into torpor. So your declared actions are to bite like crazy. You can, however, if you wanted to, if you're reconsidering that, you can spend a willpower to abort your attack plans and instead do something defensive, like squiggle out of the tackle.
Yeah, I think
If he was going to do something defensive, he would have been using his dice this whole time to defend.
Yeah. I am just still going for it because I'm frenzied anyway. So
Okay.
I don't think there's much strategy to it. I have to go all out.
All right, so for the bite, give me a it's a dexterity plus brawl plus 1 roll, because it's a little easier to do because it's the guy's like right there in your face.
Do I get potence?
No, that'll add to your damage though.
Okay.
So that's 6 dice.
Seeing 1 success.
1. Great.
1 success. That is enough to get him. What is damage? Damage will be strength plus potence plus 1. So roll 7 dice.
Oh yeah, that's helpful. That is helpful.
Yeah, that's
Shit.
5.
Bites him in half.
This is aggravated damage, is it not?
It is, in fact.
Uh-oh. Not a lot of ways to soak aggravated damage if you're a human.
All right. So you bite clean through this guy's arm.
Fuck yeah. Let's
You
go.
take nearly
Things are
all
looking
of
up.
his health away.
Yeah. Do I drink his blood to heal myself at the same time? That would be badass.
Do it.
You have to spend an action on that.
Spitballing. I'm spitballing new mechanics. Let me drink this man.
So he tackles you and he has his arm across your face, trying to pin you down and to keep you from moving around. And you like unhinge your jaw and just chomp right through his whole forearm, fully releasing yourself from his tackle. And with the momentum of just chomping through it like Pac-Man, you actually roll clear out of the way of the guy.
Sick. Hammer time.
So up next,
Just a little casually that was said. Hammer time?
Mouthful of arm.
Let's fucking go.
so Brain Bucket with the tonfa is trying to come down on you, right on your head. He's not any longer going to get the bonus of you being immobilized because you're not immobilized anymore. And because you're very unexpectedly moving right as he's trying to attack you, his attack is going to be at a small penalty. So let me see here. So he's going to roll 3 dice. And he gets 1 success. And Sanfa comes down and this. 3 bashing. Go ahead and roll your stamina dice to see how much of that you soak. Do you have bashing? I think you have bashing after soak. That is 1 bashing, which
Does it round up or down? Does it round up or down?
Well, it would rounding down. It would be 1 bashing, and with a tonfa from Brain Bucket, things go dark, and Archibald falls asleep.
Dang.
And is unaware of what happens next to him.
You know what? I'm going to say I'm not mad about it. I bit through a dude. I think that was pretty lit. It was 4 on 1.
Bit through.
You should see the other guy. Okay, guys, I'm off to bed. Bye.
Are you taking off?
No, I'm referring to Archibald.
Oh, okay. Back to Excavo and Augustyn. Give me another wits plus drive roll, Excavo.
3 successes.
Yeah. Am I able to shoot my gun at their wheels, 90s cop drama style, to see if I can, like, at some level disable their vehicle?
Oh, you could take my gun.
Yeah,
That worked out so well last time.
You can attempt that. Keep in mind you're going through, like, this is nearing downtown in a city, but yeah, you can lean out and try to shoot at this tire. It'll be very difficult, but you can try it.
I will do just that.
I think given that it's a small target and it's far away, and you're in a moving vehicle. I think a difficulty of 9 is fair for this one.
Ooh.
And what are the dice for shooting?
Dexterity plus firearms.
What's your dexterity plus firearms, Andy?
1,000,000.
4.
Four?
I have 4.
Well,
Easy. You've never botched a roll before.
roll well enough. I see a 10.
Shot a
10.
tire.
Success.
Ooh.
Hell yeah.
About to get another dot.
Do you think you'd be aiming at the same tire that you were aiming at before?
I'm in the passenger seat, so rear passenger side.
Rear passenger side tire.
Hang on a second.
Correct?
You pop a tire. It is not the one with your tonfa in it. The tonfa is still in the other rear tire of this van. But you do notice the van like very dramatically like sink a little bit in one corner, and it's starting to wobble, and it has a flat tire.
Punch it!
Did they stop?
Bully!
They do not stop, but subsequent rolls for you are going to be at a difficulty of 6 instead of 7. That could get even better if you pop more tires, I guess.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
And difficulty has gone up for them.
Ooh, there's a 10 there.
Give me a wits plus drive roll. Difficulty is 6.
Ooh, 4.
You are
Good choice.
keeping up pretty close behind them. Let me go one more time for these guys.
Interesting roll. It's all over the place.
And go ahead and give me another one. So that's 3
Great.
successes. You aren't really gaining on them, but you are keeping up with them pretty well.
I guess I'm going to try and fire a shot just kind of at their back window, loosely aiming at head level.
Okay. Give me a dexterity plus firearms roll. Again, we'll say
that 10 gave you some confidence here.
we'll say difficulty 9 to hit anything important.
Not this time.
Nope.
That's a botcherino.
That's a botch, Andy.
Oof.
Augustyn, it's a botch.
So describe for me, you're I guess like leaning out the passenger window.
Kind of doing one of these things. Yeah, loosely leaning out the window.
Are you leaning out the passenger side of your best friend's ride?
Yeah.
Classic scrub move.
I can't think of a funnier way to make you botch. So you see the bullet not penetrate but ricochet off the back of the van, and you get the impression that it made it go slightly faster.
You pushed it along. Oh no!
Just like
I would have gone with he spooked the guys in the van. They slammed on the brakes, and he just like smacked his head.
Oh.
Just fully came out. So you will say this also happens. So you don't lean out far enough outside of the car, and the sound of the gunshot is like captured inside the car pretty loudly. Not a huge deal. You just, feel some like ringing in your ears. It'll be a little difficult to hear for like a minute. But it has terrified Paddington.
That is a true botch.
Paddington was on your lap, enjoying this crazy ride. The little bear cub has been used to, commotion and adventure. But all of a sudden, when there was a gunshot right next to his little cute bear ears, he's flipping out, and he ran into the back seat, and he's cowering and shivering in fear.
I know I'm the one who caused this to happen, but it's somehow your fault, Graham, and I can't forgive you for this.
I know how you feel, man.
That's fair. Everything's the storyteller's fault.
It's that sad description.
All right, let's see here. One more roll for these guys.
Yikes. So they got 1 success. No, 2 successes.
Correct. Go ahead and give me a roll, Excavo.
4.
Woo! You are right behind. You were 10 feet behind them.
Huh.
Do you have a plan?
Can I go around them and like cut them off?
We tried that
or
before.
Or are they like small streets? I did.
If you overtake them, you can attempt to do that.
Okay. Okay, so I assume we're now pretty close to the church. I assume.
You guys are driving away from the church.
Oh, yeah.
Oh.
You came from the
no.
church.
Uh-huh.
Oh no.
Yeah.
Live looking at Darby
know that
blissfully
he's
zooming
suffering.
around town.
Well, I was going to give Excavo and Archibald a second to think about their next move. Darby, is there any change to what Darby is doing underground? Is he still doing it, or has he gotten it out of his system?
Oh no! I mean, real time. It's only been like 20 minutes since he got down here. There's no stopping him. He's methed out. He's pissed off, and he's just road raging right now.
I think the way that so Darby would realize that the way the MKT works, you go down as a pedestrian or in a vehicle, and then you get on top of one of their platforms, and the platform is moved onto the track, and it goes around, and you have a degree of control over like where your stop is, or if you're speeding up or slowing down. And occasionally, if you're in there long enough, you might notice another member of local organized crime pop into the MKT, someone in Mario's gang, or maybe even someone in Nuclear Tech sneaking down there. And the system is set up to be kind of foolproof so that crashes can't happen. So Darby would be trying to crank it when he sees someone else, to like run him off the road just for fun. And he sees that there's this built-in safeguard against that, where kind of like, I don't know what it's called, but the thing new cars have with cruise control, where it monitors how far away the next car is, and
Sure.
it lets you speed up
Driver
to like,
assist.
yeah, to like 20 feet behind the car, and then it slows down.
Okay, so
that-
Darby's current like just mental exercise, would he have more luck hacking the platform, like ripping it apart and disabling that functionality, or just ramping his vehicle onto the track proper, like just
driving
taking
off
it-
of the platform. And
yeah,
onto the
it's
track.
driving off of the platform and just onto the track with his car to fuck with people and go faster.
This is his El Camino.
No, I whatever the fastest. I guess I don't remember
The
how I acquired
Lamborghini
my.
or the Aston Martin.
Yeah, one of those. Definitely something with some oomph to it.
Doing
If
something.
I got the opportunity to choose.
Yeah, this reckless with a Lamborghini Aventador, which is like $250,000.
Probably more, like 300 plus.
That'd be a very Darby move. Just
Yep.
ramping.
That's kind of what I'm thinking.
Yeah.
What could possibly go wrong? I'm going for it. In fact, the more we talk about it, the more, Darby's got 4 in technology and may have had a decent shot of like jury rigging the MKT. But instead, he's just, he's raging. He's on meth. He's not thinking logically right now. He is like amped to the gills and is going to get this Lamborghini onto the track.
Okay, so
I love
two
that
things.
for him.
So for one thing, you know that these floating, levitating platforms are going pretty fast. So if you got off of your platform, you'd have to maintain a certain speed to not get hit by the one behind you.
Yes.
And it's not floating so high that it would pass you. It's floating so high that if you were on foot and you ducked, actually those cars have a pretty low profile, so it might
That might be relevant later, but Darby is not calculating that right now. So if I get overtaken by one, we'll just see how low to the ground they are. But he thinks he's home free.
Do you remember the episode where we all died horrifically?
That's what we're going for.
No.
I've been actively trying to do dumb enough shit to kill myself the whole time.
Oh, I'm aware.
If Darby knew what was up, he'd probably be pissed that Archibald beat him to the punch. All right.
True.
What's up, Graham?
Well, the second thing is, so this whole thing was built with safety in mind, and there are guardrails all around this platform. But if you really slam on the gas and slam on the front guardrails, and then throw it in reverse and slam on the back ones, and just keep going back and forth with your obscenely expensive sports car, you see.
I don't think Darby would go with that philosophy. I think he'd get out of the car and just do it with his brute strength, just break one of the guardrails off, or even fashion a ramp for the wheels. If that's possible, if he can rip a full metal sheets off of any surface to make a ramp, or even 2 sheets, one for each set of wheels. That's the current strategy. If that isn't going to work, he's just going to break the railing off so he can drive straight onto the course.
Okay. So you get out of your car and you are pulling off guardrails. You feel really in the zone. You're making something with your hands. You're being crafty. It feels very Darby. You're stronger than you've ever been in your life. You feel really centered. You feel like what you're doing is right. Yeah. And as you do that, and you feel for a split second kind of meditative, your auspex kicks in. And sometimes auspex, rarely, gives you glimpses of things outside of your 5 senses, and something tells you that Archibald needs your help.
Oh my.
Needs you to be a hero. You have no particular reason to believe this feeling, but it does come into your head very clearly as from an outside source.
Interesting. How would Darby interpret this in the middle of just a manic, rage and meth fueled doomsday piece of stupidity that he's about to execute? I think I'm gonna roll a courage check to see if I am or maybe it's, I don't know which virtue it is. It's not self-control. It's about the decision to do the right thing. I'm gonna do conscious. I'm gonna roll conscience.
What's your difficulty for this?
I think standard difficulty. I have 4 dice. The right thing to do would be to go help his friend, even though he's mad. And so that's the stakes. If I succeed in this conscience roll, I will go try to help. Okay.
Those are 2 successes.
So Darby, I think, spends a minute just so mad that he is not going to be able to do this. And he's just later, you and me, later, we will finish this business. But for now, I got to go. And now he's thinking about his knowledge of the town that he's acquired. Did I know where they were going to go? Do I have any inkling where I'm needed?
You do feel drawn to the church. That's part of you're given a direction sense with this little bit of inkling that Auspex is giving you.
I think Darby thinks it's the meth, and so he's just leaning into it. He's just following his nose, and just letting Jesus take the wheel. And is pretty much just all right, wherever I got to stop. And he's just heading toward the feeling, following it, full of righteous justification, proud of himself that he's doing the right thing. and he is ready. He's been trying to become Batman for like a few nights now, and he feels like this is finally his chance for
good.
redemption.
Feels
Now,
right.
I normally wouldn't have something like this happen, but the combination of Auspex and 3 dots of awareness and the lucky merit, I think, does allow for just such a thing. Let's go back to Augustyn and Excavo. You're now 10 feet behind this mysterious van, and you can try to overtake it in the next turn and run it off the road.
Yeah. Okay. Yes, that's what I want to do.
And is Augustyn doing anything?
Recognizing the terror in Paddington, I look at Excavo and scream, "Punch it!"
Okay.
But very quietly. Quiet screams. And I do not fire another... no. Yes. No. Yes. I'm going to fire another shot at the vehicle since we're closer.
What's the worst that could happen?
What is the worst that could happen?
You've already been shot? Yeah, what's the worst that can happen?
So you're much closer, but you're still trying to fire at some targets through
Just
the back of the van.
The back window. I'm aiming at the back window, assuming
shooting
it'll
at the
hit
back
someone
window?
in the head.
Yeah, difficulty 8 for this, and you have 1 success.
Oh, I didn't mean to roll. Oops.
Wait, which...
Disregard.
Augustyn has 1 success for the shot. Was that not your drive roll that you just did?
Was I supposed to do a drive roll just now?
Yeah.
Oh.
You're both doing something. And you got 2 successes for that. So
All right.
let's
Yeah, sure. We'll count it.
see here. And then the van is continuing to drive. So the gap widens a little bit between your 2 vehicles. It's about 20 feet away. So how do we determine what it is that you hit?
Just call me Wilford Brimley. Who the hell did I hit?
Go ahead and give me, just roll 1d10, difficulty 5, and you're going to hit something important if it's a success, and depending on how high the number is. There you go, 7.
Wow.
God.
Cool. So, you don't know what you hit, but you, the player, know that you did hit something important in there. It's been 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 rounds of driving. At this point, you are in downtown New Cammack, and you see the van in front of you slow down a little bit and quickly whip around and go down the ramp into the underground parking garage of a tall office building. This parking garage has like a garage door thing, and you see that right as they were driving up, the door was opened up, and they're just flooring it, trying to escape you. And they're getting in like right underneath this door. And as soon as they're under, the door starts to lower again. Like they were coordinating with someone to open the door just long enough for them to get in. And they're trying to close the door so you can't get behind them. But you are about 20 feet behind, and you can certainly try.
I mean, Excavo,
I would
are we
try.
risking it for the biscuit?
Do it.
Yeah. So they're
Let's risk it for the biscuit.
They're letting someone in? Yeah, let's go. All right. Just another driving roll.
Yeah, so this door is coming down. I'm going to say the number of successes determines how... so you are trying to go into this parking garage too, right behind him. To give you context, this does not seem like an open-sided parking garage. It seems like you are going into a basement that is, as far as you know, only has 1 entrance. And you look inside and doesn't even look particularly well lit. It looks kind of spooky in there.
No, I don't go in there. No, I turn away.
But we have guns.
We have my gun. Do you have a gun?
Yep. Hey, we have a gun and a bear.
We have a whole bear.
A scared bear.
I've got the gun and you've got the bear. I'm curious who's going to be making the decisions around here.
I have plants.
Cox bear.
I've done it before. I'll do it again. You mark my words.
No, I'm having flashbacks of the library. No, I'm not going in there.
Okay. All right, so you just kind of pull up to the curb and you just park right outside this place? Oh, you started just driving away?
We came all this way,
Yes.
Excavo, and you're gonna leave us
Well-
leave them where they're at.
The party's already separated.
Very separated.
Mhm.
Some of us are dead even.
Not dead.
We're all dead.
Torpid
Torch.
even.
Okay, Augustyn, you want to stay? What is the plan?
Bunch it!
No! That is not the good plan! That's a bad plan.
Let the spirit of Darby guide you to victory.
I assume that door is shut. Like there's no.
You would have to be
Entrance in
flooring
right
it
there.
and maybe scraping the
Yeah.
top of the already bashed up Escalade to get in underneath it. Unless
Yeah,
if
it's
you were
already
doing
bashed. Oh.
Yeah.
No, I think we should go back.
that. Well, you do know where that van ended up now. And you have the license plate
Yeah.
of it.
Do I have any little cameras that I can leave?
Yeah, I think you just always have a handful of those little wireless cameras on you.
I'm curious if I could get one that like looks at that door. Put it somewhere on like a light post or something nearby.
Yeah, you can definitely set it up somewhere
Okay.
across the street.
Yeah. Okay. I want to do that real quick. I hope they're not watching me do this. I'm trying to be sneaky about it.
We should hedge our bets. We should not just park the car in front of the place where they escaped into.
Yeah, like let's drive away. Let's drive away a bit.
Yeah, chill in the dark alley, and then we'll
Yeah.
very inconspicuously saunter into a dark alley to put a camera.
Yeah.
Don't be suspicious. Don't be suspicious.
Don't be suspicious.
Okay. It is a little after 10 o'clock in New Cammack time. And this is downtown. There are people walking around. This isn't all that far from some bars. Do you really care if random people walking around see you do this, or are you going to try to be extra stealthy? Oh, you have obfuscate that you can use
Yeah, I do.
to be invisible as
I
you do
do.
this.
I could do unseen presence, right?
Yep.
Does
So
that help?
you
Yeah.
plant this thing, and people are walking by right by you, and do not notice you at all.
Augustyn, don't do anything. Don't draw her attention. Keep the bear in the car. People will want to pet it.
And people do regularly.
That's my reaction whenever I see a bear.
Just like a cute little cub.
People do want to pet Paddington all the time whenever Augustyn's just out. That's a regular thing for him. Okay, so back to Darby. Darby and his Lamborghini emerge from an old abandoned car wash that is one of the secret access points for the MKT. And a few blocks away, he sees what looks like a large building on fire. And he recognizes the area like, oh, this was the church where we met Father Francisco Paladian. Oh shit, the church is on fire. And he looks off into the distance, and with his heightened senses, he sees a group of 4 guys limping onto some motorcycles, and they're dragging a body with them. And they're trying to load a body onto the back of one of these motorcycles.
Darby is going bowling.
Yes.
So you're just
Hero Darby.
He does not slow down. He accelerates. He follows the feeling. He feels like this is his destiny, and he is driving full blast. How are the guys arrayed? Because what I'm thinking I'd like to do is drift the side of a fully speeding Lamborghini into them like a fucking baseball bat. Like I want like angular motion of like smacking them rather than forward motion of running them over, because as I turn sideways I would like to vacate the Lamborghini.
Oh shit.
So
God, this sounds
I'm like
cool. Why am I not?
skidding sideways, rolling out of the Lamborghini and using the car as a weapon to hit them all is my entrance into this scene.
God damn. Okay, so if you look at Roll20, I do have the 4 motorcycles spaced out there. They're kind of in a cluster. They're definitely positioned so that you can, if you're coming up from the right, we're assuming, you can drive up and definitely spin out, and you'd be hopping the curb as you do that, which would give you a little bit of air, I'd imagine.
That's perfect. Exactly what I'm going for.
Jesus.
Shit. So I think it's going to be a
We have like
driving.
16 dots of drive by the end of this.
This would be a dexterity plus drive roll. And let's say if you fail, you somehow spin out of control and you miss the motorcycles. If you succeed, you hit them. And let's say there's some standard amount of damage that they're all going to take from getting hit by a speeding car. And whatever extra successes that you get on the 2-hit roll are going to add to that
celerity? Do I add celerity to the dice pool for this?
I think that's fair. Yeah.
I would also like to point out that I have a specialization in driving for high-speed driving that I believe applies for this roll.
I'm
gonna laugh when, despite all the flex,
I believe you.
it still winds up killing Archibald. Like vaults him directly.
That is
through
a nasty roll.
That's 3 successes. That's good enough.
Successes. Ooh. Okay, so it's going to take me a second to figure out how the damage is going to work for this.
Did you not just like think that this is gonna happen?
Well, you didn't plan it this way when you got here.
Shows what you know about Steve.
It's gonna be a big no. So describe again. You're speeding toward them and then turning so that you basically slap them with the back of the.
Yes. It's like drifting at the last second, turning sideways, like slamming my e-brake to get like a sharp change in direction on like the front wheel fulcrum. And if that's like coming over the curb, it's perfect. Like it's gonna swing it like a fucking baseball bat. And at that moment, Darby is like fucking jump rolling out of the driver's seat. So he's not going to be in the car at the moment of impact. And if any of them like come up from this looking and feeling okay, they're going to see Darby in a full on like crouched superhero position, ready to destroy them. Like, cause he is on a mission from God right now.
So in the split second that all of this happens, you get closer to them and you see that there are 4 bikers. One of them is carrying one of his severed arms. 2 of the other 3 have just like thrown what you identify as Archibald's body onto the back of one of their motorcycles. None of them have gotten on the motorcycles yet. They're just standing next to them. As a consequence of that, when you drive through them, your car is going to go through like leg and chest level on everybody. Archibald's the only one in this group who is already kind of perched at
like high enough,
above your hood.
So I'll go underneath of him. Perfect.
Correct.
What a bonus! Wasn't even contemplated. Lucky me.
That's how I think the physics should work out. So Archibald rolls right over the windshield. The fellow with who's holding his severed arm up, goes underneath the car, and as you get out and the car passes you, you see one of his legs is also torn off. To the guys, you see a motorcycle helmet pop off with blood, spraying out of the general area of Brain Bucket, who you might remember from the Rusty Tailpipe. Also,
now I see how you got your name.
Unfortunately, Brain Bucket always wears his helmet, but he didn't have it strapped in under his chin, so it pops right off. You also see he and the older looking guy with the gray hair and a ponytail. They're hit real hard, and then they just tumble and fall in a heap of bones. There is only one person in the group that is still moving after you drive through all of them like a combine harvester, and it is Thud, the guy with the knuckle spikes, big beard, big pot belly. He's hit, and he's obviously pretty hurt. But he gets up and he's like, "What the hell?" And he starts like marching toward you angrily.
So Darby isn't interested in talking to this guy. He pulls out his gun and shoots him in the face. Like just does not, like, is on a mission. He is going to John Wick his way through this entire place. He's going, if he can win his frenzy check, toward the fire next.
Okay. Can you give me a quick initiative roll to determine if he sees this coming or not?
12.
Dexterity plus firearms. Plus celerity,
Plus celerity.
If you're not using that.
I'm not burning for celerity yet. So that is 8 dice. Dexterity. Yeah, I only have 3 firearms. It's not my best thing. Oh boy.
1 success.
1 success. That's all you need, I guess.
Roll 4 dice to determine damage.
So 3 successes.
Roll into soak. And
So
1 success. He takes...
Actually, I did call the shot of his face, so I think maybe that's only 2 successes. Like, I said I wanted to shoot him in the head, which I presume would make the dice roll higher. Maybe a 7 wouldn't hit.
Yeah, if you shoot a vampire in the head, it is lethal damage rather than bashing damage. So it does make a mechanical difference.
Yeah, so I think that's 2 successes instead of 3.
So you pop him in the face. He's obviously hurt by it. You see, his skull deforms. You see just viscera spraying out the side of his head. But he's still standing. So yeah, the guy you can tell he's burning for celerity, and he's swinging at you with two of these strikes, and he is just too out of it. His brains have been rearranged too much by that shot, and he just whiffs it both times, and he's standing kind of slumped over right in front of you, ready for a coup de grace.
Darby is like, have I seen Archibald? Like, do I know that he's okay? Do I have a sense of this is why I was summoned? Or do I feel, am I getting any more information from this feeling? Or did it like go away when I delivered this car inflicted homicide here? Because if not, then I'm like looking at the church and thinking I need to do more stuff. And the reason I bring that up is because if that's the case, I'm just going to like quickly dismiss this guy. Like, you backhand him in the face as hard as I can and then just turn and go toward the church.
What you felt was there's something happening with Archibald, and it's time for Darby to be a hero. And as you were driving up, you did see Archibald on one of the motorcycles, and you see Archibald clearly like roll up over your windshield and over the back of your car.
Okay, if that's the case, then rather than dismissing this guy, I'm just angry at this guy as the only one left to face accountability for hurting my prince. And so therefore, I think I get real close to him, and I'm just like, you fucked up today, son. And then I go for the bite to kill.
All right, this guy really has no way to defend himself against you. So yeah, you sort of tear through his neck and just take off enough flesh that it essentially disconnects his head from his body and kills him.
Yeah. So Darby walks over to Archibald's phone and uses it to call the other two. Lets it ring, just throws it on top of Blake, on top of Archibald, and then starts looking around for somebody else to hurt.
You don't see anyone else to hurt. I'm going to need a conscience roll from all these people you quite probably killed. And the one guy you definitely killed. Give me a conscience roll difficulty of 8, please.
Oh, that's a no. That's a big time no. Am I losing a humanity dice here?
That's a yep, that's a botch. So a botch on a degeneration roll results in losing a point of humanity and a point of conscience and gaining a derangement, which I will need to think about. But it's kind of weird that Darby's gone this long without getting a derangement.
Yeah. I had 4 dots of conscience. Man, that sucks. Shit. Not a good one to botch.
So what did you say?
I essentially have been role-playing like some kind of savior complex anyway, and now I'm sure it's just like sunk in that I'm totally justified in killing anyone that I come across, as long as it's in the pursuit of my goal.
So what did you say that you were doing with your phone or Archibald's phone or something?
I picked up Archibald's phone and I called Excavo and I just let it ring so that they know that he needs help, essentially. And then I walk to try to survey the wreckage of the church to see if I hear or see anything that's going on inside.
You hang out outside the church. You still feel this sort of forbidding feeling that it would be difficult for you to actually walk into the church. Like you can try to force yourself, but it's challenging.
That plus the fire would make it really hard for a vampire to go in there.
Oh, big time. But right as you're walking up to the church and checking it out, there's fire damage, but it seems like the fire is dying down. Donna Teller walks out of the front of the church, carrying in her arms the limp but still alive body of Father Francisco Paladian, who's coughing violently and gasping to breathe. And
your dad looks fucked up.
And she runs up to you and says, "We got to get him to a hospital."
All right. How you want to take my ride? It's pretty quick.
And she goes into some nearby bushes, which is where the Lamborghini landed, and just loads the priest into the. Is there a back seat of those things? Anyway,
it's like tiny bucket seats back there. I think it's it would be very uncomfortable. He might actually fit better in the trunk.
Yeah.
And do you pick up Archibald or do anything else with any of these three?
I leave him there. I make sure the other guys are dead. If I'm going to take the humanity hit, then I want them all to be dead. So I do finish the job if anybody's still squirming. I put everybody else out of their misery, and then I get in the Lambo. I take him to the MKT and get him into the hospital as quickly as possible.
When you're going after the other people who are on the ground, none of them are moving. You can tell as you're attacking them that 2 of them are mortal because they bleed actively from their wounds, and 2 of them are vampires. One of them, actually both of them, you have put into torpor. But one of them gave him final death from that bite, and the other one, I assume you do the same.
Yep.
So all of them are dead, and you just you leave them right where they are, and you take Archibald, Paladian, and
I leave
Donatello.
Archibald on the floor. He wouldn't fit in the car anyway, so I take Donna with Paladian in the trunk to the hospital, presuming that Archibald will get rescued, but this is the more pressing need.
Interesting. Okay. Well, that might be a good stopping point for tonight's
Hell
session.
yeah.
I'd say so.
When Graham told me I was going to be playing those other guys, the last thing that I thought was that Darby would be involved in this combat at all.
Yeah, I like how I tried to solo all of them and failed, and then you came in and then immediately soloed them.
Oh, you softened him up. Plus, I had a
And
car.
you had a car.
Yeah.
I did not have a
would've
car.
helped.
I did take one out, and I'm proud of my bite.
I think even Darby, as a much lower generation vampire, would have had trouble 4-on-1. Like it's really painful strategic choices. Do you burn for celerity for more action? Do you play defense? Fortitude dots might be something you have taught Darby levels of potence, and so if you were interested in learning some fortitude at a clan as a compensation for how this went down, maybe that would be a conversation that Darby and Archibald could have.
I think that would be good. I think I need it.
Hell yeah.
When you're back to being among the waking.
Okay, I think as far as points go, I'm saving them. I earned nothing today.
You can save them for fortitude.
There we go.
First dot in a new out of clan discipline
It's
is
12. It's 10 for an in clan, 12 for an out of clan.
Augustyn, you have 6 points. Do you want to hang on to them or
Would
spend
it
them on something?
cost me more points than I have available to get an extra dot in firearms?
Your very first dot of firearms will be 3 points.
Yeah, boy, Augustyn learned to pew pew today. It was great.
You learned to pew pew. See, I told you you'd get another dot.
Yeah. And now I have
boy and his
5
dot.
dice on difficulty 9 next time that happens.
Oh yeah.
Hell yeah.
You have
So
3 more
clearly
points
I don't
left.
need it.
Do you want to spend them on anything?
I'm going to hold on to the remaining points. I do want to use those 3 for firearms, though.
Either one of you could have spent blood for dex or whatever other like primary stat you were using over and over again for those challenges and got an extra dice. For 1 point of blood, you could have got an extra dice for every single one of those challenges for the whole scene.
Yeah, if you're ever in a pinch, you can spend willpower and you can spend blood. But if you don't, then you have it for an even more dire situation that might happen.
That was absolutely a deliberate choice. Mm-hmm.
We're gonna get involved in this fire next time, I think.
Swan dives into fire. Burns of blood to survive fire.
That's Darby's Native American name.
Swan dives into fire.
And Darby has 2 points to spend, which I think can be used
I'm going to be
get
saving. I'm saving up forever. I'm saving up forever for more fortitude dots.
something wacky.
My 4th dot is going to cost 15, so it's going
Current
to be
level 10. Yeah.
it's going to be a minute.
Well, Excavo has 8 points, which can be spent on quite a few things.
I am gonna save them. I'm thinking next time I'll be able to get a point of Auspex and have telepathy.
Cool.
There you go.
Getting closer to telepathy. I think telepathy is the fourth one, and Spirit's Touch is the third one.
Oh, Spirit's Touch. Okay.
I think still do neat
What
things.
does Spirit's Touch do again?
It's like
I don't remember that one.
You handle an inanimate
object.
object.
Yeah.
And you get like whatever the psychic impression on it is, like emotions or who owned this, things like that.
Yeah,
It's maybe
that's still very handy.
It's maybe the least cool of all of the Auspex powers. As far as I've ever seen it used,
situational and very much up to the storyteller, right? Like, if you use it on an object that has no significance at all, storyteller's just like, it was owned by a dead guy. Like, I don't know, you can't.
It's good for investigation, but even then, only sometimes.
Hey, well, have a good night, y'all.
Yeah, fun sesh.
Great session.
See you next time.
Bye-bye.
Love you guys.
Yep. We learned some things about the limits of his combat capacity. It was a bit humbling. And Augustyn and Excavo have a license plate number for someone involved in the attack on Paladian's church, and also know the building that they returned to. And Darby got to be a hero. Oh, and
we got to have a
video
buddy
surveillance
cop scene. It was great.
And Darby got to be a hero, which might have possibly broken his the spell over him, the funk that he was in.
It broke his brain. I think it maybe like leaned him the other way. Like he's just turning into this vigilante killer guy, like really going ironically full Batman, which was not really what I thought was going to happen with Darby. Just a full on Angel of Death, John Wick type of character, while also being stupid. It's going to be fun.
If you think that Darby is on a path where he's trying to get back some of his conscience or humanity, that is...
I actually think it's the other way. I think he's just like... The way you lose humanity is like you lose perspective, right? And I think Darby thinks that it's just what he's doing is morally okay. Like that's what happens when you fail, or in this case, botch a conscience check. You just don't feel bad about this horrible shit that you've done. And so Darby doesn't. In fact, he feels justified and, motivated to do it more.
Okay. Yeah, I didn't know what else I was going to say. So I guess that's... the derangement. If you have any ideas of an appropriate derangement for Darby...
I think it's just delusions of grandeur. I think it's definitely one of the ones that's in the book. And Darby thinks he's Batman. I mean, he thinks he's like a holy warrior now. He got this piece of he got this piece of intuition. He got to murder people with a car. Like everything is really coming up Darby right now, and he thinks he's like being divinely inspired on his path, and that it's all justified, which is pathologically wrong and dumb and bad. But that's where Darby's come from.
All right. Well, we'll try to find like how a derangement like that would work mechanically, and we'll add that to the character sheet. And I think that's it for tonight.
Awesome.
Hell yeah.
See y'all next time.
Thanks for the great sesh, guys. Have a good night.
Much love.